All right, here we go. Two burly boys played Pokemon in their youth. One had to grow up, the other stayed true. Now the large grown-up child can name all of them, but the other guy probably 510. Now what can they do? Why don't they review? Now I'll talk about them till we die.
Die? Welcome, everybody. I'm Frank.
And I'm Joachim.
And this is your Certified Poke-Moment, where we feature and talk about one Pokemon evolution line every single week.
Today's featured Pokemon is... Melmetal. Specifically, the one we rolled was Melmetal Gigantamax, but we'll be talking about, what is it, Meltan?
Meltan and Melmetal. Okay, that's very interesting, because these are some of the most unique Pokemon ever introduced.
They're like the Pokemon Go Pokemon, right?
Yes, they're introduced in Pokemon Go, and I still don't think you can catch them in mainline game. The only way to get them into your main game is to catch them in Pokemon Go and then transfer them in. And I could be getting this wrong. I don't even know if you can evolve Meltan into Melmetal in game.
It has to be in Pokemon Go?
It might have to be. I could be wrong about that. Nope, I'm absolutely correct about that. Evolving, you have to have four... Actually, we're not... No, I talk about this a little bit later, so let me just do this first. Let's start with Meltan. He is a solo steel type. I say he. He is gender unknown. So Meltan is solo steel and is known as the Hex Nut Pokemon. And his cry sounds like this. Wow.
Okay, like a little metallic springy sound.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute.
Almost sounds like a springy sword. I imagine a sword being unsheathed or
like
something.
a little rod, a little...
Yeah.
I can't do the noise. I would go like... but
That's not bad.
But it's way more high pitched than that.
Yeah. And it evolves by... I've never played Pokemon Go. I'm like the biggest Pokemon fan I know. I have never played Pokemon Go. It evolves by walk. I assume you walk like 400
There's an icon of like a circle with a... Is this like Melmetal candy or something?
I imagine it's a candy of some kind.
And then 400, the number 400 pointing at Melmetal, and then just the Pokemon Go logo.
Yeah.
So 400 Melmetal candies need to be given to it, maybe?
I doubt it's not 400 steps. That's not even that many steps.
No, it's not.
So... Yeah, Joachim and I both have never played this game, but...
I played it ages ago, and then I got really bored.
You see, my issue... I don't think I've ever talked about this on the podcast, which is wild. My issue with Pokemon Go was that when it first launched, it was only Gen 1 Pokemon, and that really bothered me.
Is it everything now?
Pretty much. There are some Pokemon that aren't in it, but they've introduced Pokemon from every single region at this point. I've thought about getting into it, but every time I think about it, I'm like, man... Florida is so hot and muggy and humid. I love going on bike rides, but a walk, I don't know. I don't know if I want to jump into Pokemon Go 5 years. No. Oh my gosh, came out in 2016.
It's 9 years.
9 years?
9 years since it came out. That's wild.
I remember I was still in my church's youth group when it came out because a bunch of people who never played Pokemon in their lives picked the game up, and I was shocked. Anyway, that was a mild side tangent. Upon evolution, Melmetal is still just a steel type, and it is still known as the Hex Nut Pokemon, and its cry sounds like this.
Okay, it's like a big boy version of the first one.
I was going to say.
They keep the twang. Mm-hmm. Like, keep that twang.
It definitely feels like an evolution of the cry. I just still expect in Melmetal to have like a slightly deeper voice and everything. I don't know. I like Melmetal a lot. I've never used one in battle. I've never been able to experience owning one. But just looking at him, I think he has a really fun and unique design.
I like to think that the reason his little voice stays high is because he's just the same nut that got a bunch of more metal around.
Yeah. All that like mercury or liquid mercury or whatever just expanded and took on more nuts.
It could also be that it's just a bunch of melmetals all
meddling up into a metal?
Well, I say we look at some Pokedex entries here. I can do Meltan and the Gigantamax form, and you do Melmetal? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so let me get back to Meltan. And Meltan and Melmetal are not available in Scarlet and Violet, as far as I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's such a new Pokemon. Whoa, I say such a new Pokemon. It was like a Pokemon Go Pokemon
Yes.
8 years ago.
Yeah, well, when Gen 8 came out, it was when this Pokemon was introduced, around that time. Really? And actually, you can put Meltan and Melmetal into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which I totally forgot about.
What is that, 2017?
Gosh, I can't even remember. That sounds right-ish. Maybe 2018. I remember Katrina and I playing the game around the time we first started dating, so it's probably 2018.
Yeah, and then 2019 would have been Sword and Shield.
Yeah, that sounds accurate. Yeah. But yeah, it's so funny because
2018 would have been Sword and Shield because. Oh crap! Oh, or is it late 2019?
I can't remember.
Oh, it's late 2019. Late 2019.
I can't remember, honestly. It is funny that they can be in these games though, since the only other Pokemon are all Gen 1 Pokemon. They don't even have like Crobat or Steelix in this game. You can't evolve your Onix or your Golbat.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a slap in the face to have these Pokemon in there. All right. Meltan for Pokemon Sword. It dissolves and eats metal. Circulating liquid metal within its body is how it generates energy. All right. Shield. They live as a group. But when the time comes, one strong Meltan will absorb all the others and evolve. That's horrifying.
That's kind of body horror. It's like, do you lose consciousness, or do you just sort of gain some kind of state of nirvana?
Yeah, there's one like hive mind all within the same body.
Maybe they love it. They just love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be like horrified if I wasn't the strongest Meltan, and I'm like, no, the time's coming. I have to keep working.
I would be horrified to know that my body was made up of a bunch of... It all depends on the consciousness, right? Is it like they have the urge to lose consciousness, or they have the urge to become one entity?
Maybe they all just want this.
There's some people who would be like, oh, no, I'd love that.
Those people are weird.
You're weird. Here, I'm going to read for Melmetal now. Sword. At the end of its lifespan, Melmetal will rust and fall apart. The small shards left behind will eventually be reborn as Meltan.
The circle of life.
Samagamba singa binga donga. Alright. Shield. Centrifugal force is behind the punches of Melmetal's heavy Hexnut arms. Melmetal is said to deliver the strongest punches of all Pokemon. Of all the Pokemon, they chose Melmetal to be the punch Pokemon. Of all the other things going on with it.
You can read Gigantamax if you want.
Oh, is that... I was like, why does that one have a different shape? Oh, it's because it's Gigantamax. Gigantamax, Melmetal, Sword. In a distant land, there are legends about a Cyclopean giant. In fact, the giant was a Melmetal that was flooded with Gigantamax energy.
In a distant land? What distant land has Gigantamax energy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like, again, I think a certain level of this is bullcrap.
Yeah, fair.
That they just make up. Again, we're assuming that the Pokédex entries are made by children, which they are, because the Pokédex is filled out by children.
Yes.
Shield. It can send electric beams streaking out from the hole in its belly. Aww. The beams' tremendous energy can vaporize an opponent in one shot. Oh, there is a hole in its big belly. Well, it's little belly actually now. That's so cute. It starts out just like a little guy with big thighs.
Yeah.
Ooh, hold on, big thighs.
Oh, here we go.
And then it becomes like a big slender thing. That's kind of cool.
It's got those giant fists now.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Although it's shooting out a beam, kind of like you set it up as a punching Pokemon, and now it's a beam Pokemon.
Yeah, that's kind of all over the place.
Oh my gosh, the West has fallen.
Okay.
I just say that sentence.
All right, so let's talk abilities here. Meltan and Melmetal both have different abilities. Meltan's ability is Magnet Pull. They each only have the one ability, by the way. They're no hidden, nothing. Steel types cannot run nor switch while this Pokemon is in battle. Because the opponent's switching is blocked, the opponent cannot switch on the turn this Pokemon switches out of battle. The opponent may still switch with Baton Pass. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. There's like a little loophole to that.
But they can't use like U-turn?
Nope, can't use U-turn or anything like that. And then at evolution in Melmetal, it now has the ability Iron Fist. The power of punching moves is increased by 20%.
Okay, yeah.
Now, on other Pokemon podcasts that I listen to, I have heard them discuss this odd fact before when it comes to its moveset. It says here that upon evolution, Melmetal will learn Thunder Punch, but it can't evolve in-game.
Oh.
So, I guess you can still learn it through Move Reminder, maybe? Or probably through Technical Record, right?
Is it just Steel type?
Oh, no, you can learn it through TM. Yeah, Solo Steel.
Solo Steel, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can still get Thunder Punch through TM, but, like, it's just weird.
That is weird, but, like, at least it's not one of those, like, things where you can just never get the move.
Yeah.
Weird, so I'm like, I can't be mad at them.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those moments where Pokemon is such a big, there's so many different little entities to have to keep track of. It just kind of goes under the radar.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's understandable. I'm hoping in Gen 10 just a lot of these little things get fixed.
Yeah.
And like you can finally find Meltan in game, which I don't know if they'd want to get rid of the one reason a person would download Pokemon Go. But
that's not the one reason.
What's the other reason?
People like Pokemon Go. People like bad battle mechanics.
That's the thing, man. I don't want to battle in Pokemon Go. Any Pokemon I can catch in Pokemon Go. I think it's a little easier to find shinies in Pokemon Go that you can then transfer to the games, but I don't know. Maybe I should download Pokemon Go just to get Meltan.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, we'll see. But by level up, it can get other moves such as Headbutt, Thunder Wave. We should do stats before moves. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That way we kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
We'll get back to moves in a second here. These are some good-ass stats. Holy cow. Its base stat total is 600. So I don't think this Pokemon is considered like legendary or mythical or anything. So, I mean,
that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. HP 135.
Whoa,
yeah, bulky.
chunky.
Attack 143. That's insane.
Is this Pokemon like what do you call it? Used a lot?
I don't think he's used competitively at all.
That's crazy.
At all.
I wonder what's gonna maybe just Solo Steel's not that great.
Yeah, I don't think so. But with the oh no, terrestrialization doesn't really matter what type he is.
Oh, but he's not in Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, Frank.
That's why he's not used.
Yep, there it is. That's why he's not used.
That sucks.
Yeah, I wonder because he's got good defense too. 143 defense.
What?
Same as his physical attack. Now things start going down a bit. Special attack 80.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it.
But it's still
an
okay special attack.
Higher than it needs to be. Like 80 is not that bad. Special defense 65.
See, I would switch those two.
Yeah.
Because that's really low.
Speed 34. He's solid liquid metal. It makes sense.
He's at the speed point where like it doesn't matter. Below like 55, I would say is just like you're too slow.
Well, Trick Room though.
Trick Room, he would just be the fastest.
Yeah, Trick Room, he'd be insanely fast. There's not a lot of Pokemon that'll be able to outspeed him in Trick Room. Just other, like, bulky Steel and Rock types, really. Yeah, those are some awesome stats. All right, with that knowledge, let's go back to movesets. Weird that he can get Flash Cannon at level 40. Oh my gosh, he doesn't start, like... His move spread is kind of far apart. 48, Mega Punch, makes sense. Discharge at 64 again, just giving him another random special move. 72, Dynamic Punch. It's that physical fighting type attack that does 100 damage, but only has 50 accuracy. The user punches the target with full concentrated power. This confuses the target if it hits. So it's guaranteed confusion on a really strong attack.
But 50% is so low.
It is. That's why...
In Pokemon, that might as well be 10%.
Yes, exactly. That's why the only Pokemon I would ever put Dynamic Punch on is Machamp, because he gets the No Guard ability, which means accuracy just isn't an issue anymore. All of his attacks will hit the opponent, but all of the opponent's attacks will hit him.
Okay.
So it's... I mean,
feel like I always go in assuming my opponent's attacks will hit me.
Exactly.
If they ever miss, it's just like, oh, thank you, God. I will keep going. But,
Yeah. Level 80, he gets Superpower. Then at level 88, he gets his own signature move, Double Iron Bash. It is a physical steel type attack that does 60 damage with 100 accuracy. The user rotates, centering the hex nut in its chest, and then strikes with its arms twice in a row. This may also make the target flinch. So this is great. If both of these attacks will hit, because this is a 100 accuracy move, so it gives you 2 chances to flinch in the same turn, and at the end you'll do 120 damage. That's really, really good. And then at level 96 it gets Hyper Beam.
Why? 96 you said?
Level 96. Yeah. And
Why?
It's 88 for Double Iron Bash. I know I said that, but like to get a signature move so late into the game. I mean, I doubt you're using this guy through a whole playthrough.
That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks that you don't get to use that until you're like ridiculously post game, late game, or post balls deep into post game.
There's go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say it's beyond balls deep. It's usually blown past late game.
Yeah, but when you're rebattling the Elite Four and like the champion over and over, and actually Gen 8 has this cool thing where it's not just like rebattling the same Elite Four over and over. All of the gym leaders you meet, plus some other random trainers, I think, you guys all can compete in this like tournament bracket. And it's fun. You'll get like a different opponent at the top almost every time, and it's unique, and I like it. But
I liked in Gen 2 when like you'd get like a phone call and be like, "Hey, I'm that rat boy. I want to fight." You'd be like, "Okay, rat boy."
Yeah, that was cool, and especially because they'd call you and give you unique items sometimes too.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that mechanic.
Yeah, that was hard. They brought it. Was that in the original Gen 2, or did they just make that in Heart Gold and Soul Silver?
I'm inclined to say it was the original Gold and Silver, but I don't know for sure.
Because I played Crystal way back when, but can't remember anything about it.
I hope if they ever remake those games that they still include that. That'd be great. I'm still probably the only person in the world who wants a Let's Go Johto. I've said it before. Actually, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but I've said it in my Pokemon game tier list that I made recently. I think Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee have some of the best graphics in all of Pokemon. I think that art style is perfect.
They should just make the mainline games that.
I think they should. Now, I don't like the catching mechanic. I don't like finding all these Pokemon in the overworld. I'm still a big fan of the grass. I know that's not a thing in Pokemon anymore since like Gen 8. But
you like the random encounters?
I do. I'm a big fan of. Well, actually, I was fine with how they did it. This is a side tangent, but I don't care. I liked how they did it in Gen 8. They still had random grass encounters, but there were also Pokemon you could find in the overworld. They might have also done that in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee now that I'm thinking about it, but I can't remember, so I'm going to assume they didn't.
I feel like there were Pokemon in the overworld in Let's Go. I never played.
Oh, there were. No. They. I think it was all overworld Pokemon. And no hidden grass ones. But again, I could be wrong. I'm probably misremembering that. I haven't picked up my copy of Eevee in so long.
I feel like the way Scarlet and Violet did Pokemon in the overworld, it just felt like they were just standing around. It was just, there's a Lechonk just hanging out. Like, it didn't feel natural. I would have rather fewer Pokemon, but like they were like, Lechonk, I don't know where a Lechonk would be. That's a bad example. In the bushes or something. Yeah. But like, Pachirisu, actually they are always by trees. But like more interacting with nature, making it seem more natural.
I like how in the first like couple of routes, it feels more natural in my opinion. Then once you get later into the game in these large open fields, you can just dash through the fields and there's like a pop. There's like 5 Palmots and 5 Palmies and a Palmot pop up, and then pop. They do the same thing with Sawsbuck and Deerling and Lechonks and Oinkolones. It's so unnatural.
Give me fewer Pokemon, but
spread them out a bit.
Spread them out. Make them make more sense. There's such a big, gross, bland world. Just make the Pokemon be like the interesting thing about it.
But yes, I agree with you on that point. As far as technical machines for Melmetal goes, it can get Mega Punch, Mega Kick, Ice Punch, and then there's Thunder Punch. Solar Beam, Thunder Wave, Self-Destruct, that's all kind of cool. Rock Slide. I wonder, does Brick Break count as a punching move? Probably not. It probably has to have punch in the title. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, no, it's not a punch move. Nope, it says it.
Because it's like the animation is always like a chop.
Yeah, it's more of a chop, I guess. Let's see. Superpower, Earthquake. That's cool. Oh, those are technical records. Still.
What's the difference between those again?
You had to technical records had a one-time use, like TM's used to, and like they do in Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, there's no more just TMs.
No,
everything is limited.
Yes, everything in Scarlet and Violet is limited. At least in Sword and Shield, they had technical machines and technical records.
I do like the limited aspect of it.
I don't know. I remember Gen 5 when they first put in the no. I'm saying this in such a weird way. They were no longer limited starting in Gen 5, and I just remember absolutely loving that. I would just collect every single TM, and then now I just had all of them in case I needed them.
I liked that you could like it felt like battling just a bunch of Pokemon at least had some more use. Like there was.
Are you talking to Scarlet and Violet?
Yeah, in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
But having them unlimited was a great choice.
Yeah.
But in Scarlet and Violet, at least you can make more of the TM. You didn't have to ration out. Who do I give this one move to? And I would end up not teaching anybody the move because I didn't want to regret it.
Yep. I've been there. But yeah, you're right. Getting to make him in the future. It just requires a little bit of effort, which a lot of the new Pokemon mechanics take a lot of that away. It takes the new EXP share, for example, takes away the need to grind. But they kind of brought the need to grind back with needing to make
That's a good point. But I think the problem is they probably had to make a decision of whether they just fill the overworld with Pokemon and give you the need to grind. Because I would say fewer Pokemon and also don't have the need to grind. There's a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah.
To like have to animate and then do interesting things in this world. It's just if you're going to limit the number of Pokemon anyways, please. Fewer Sawsbuck.
Yes, fewer Sawsbuck, please.
I want to see Riolu doing something cool in the field, not just, oh, hey, a Riolu.
Yeah, I don't want to see just like 4 Ponyards spawn around a Bisharp out of nowhere. All right, yeah. That's about it for moveset. His move pool isn't really that deep, but I mean, he gets like, Darkest Lariat, high horsepower, body press, Iron Head. Those are just some things I didn't mention earlier.
Now that we're after that point, now would probably be a good point for the strategies.
Yeah. Look, if you transfer a Meltan, but if you transfer it in, you can't evolve it. Ugh. Say you transfer your Melmetal in and you want to use it to fight Mustard in the DLC.
Who?
You never played Sword and Shield at all.
Oh, frick. You can't play... Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
you can't play him in Scarlet. Sorry. I was just catching up.
Yeah, that's right. In the DLC... which one was it? I think it was the first one where you can get Cubfu and Urshifu. There's this strong trainer who gives you the Cubfu, and he's the guy who, like, pushes the story forward. And at the very end, you can battle him. And I'm not going to... joke him. Sorry. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a hard battle, but like as far as Pokemon goes, it's mildly challenging, I guess. And so you can use your Melmetal to fight him, use your double Iron Bashes and your Thunder Punch and whatnot, and then just keep challenging the Elite Four and the champion fights. Those will be slightly different every time. They're not very hard, but that's why it's difficult to talk strategies with this guy, because you can't use him in competitive. And I guess you could do online battles maybe with him. Yeah, okay. If you just want to do Sword and Shield online battles, my opinion would be maybe Heavy Slam, because I guarantee you weigh a lot. You weigh 1,763.7 pounds. Actually, don't do Heavy Slam because you already have Double Iron Bash for your Steel type move. Teach him Body Press, because that Body Press is a physical fighting type attack that does 80 damage with 100 accuracy. The user attacks by slamming its body into the target. The higher the user's defense, the more damage it can inflict on the target. And your defense is insane.
Yeah, okay. That's really cool.
And I'm sure you can get Iron Defense. There you go. The user hardens its body's surface like an iron, sharply raising its defense stats. So you set up 1 Iron Defense, your body press, even if it's not stab, is going to do absolute numbers.
One day I want to actually look into how these multipliers work. Like, okay, let's say he has, what was it, 140 defense?
143.
104.
Yeah,
43.
makes it even harder.
143 defense times what? What is one stage? I don't know, and I'm not going to figure that out.
Sharply,
Sorry,
I think, is 2.
But, like, what is a stage?
Yeah, good point.
That's a lot of multiplier.
It's a lot of math going into it.
Is it by, like, 0.25? I don't know.
I feel like Charlie when he's trying to count the gas as they're pouring it. Yeah, I'm like, it goes up by 1. I'm like, yep, it went up by 1. That's it. Yeah. That's all I need to know. Yeah, that's strategies. I don't have much more to add about that.
We're not competitive. You guys know.
You want to see it shiny?
Yeah.
What do you think it looks like?
Gold? Oh.
It goes from being yellowish to kind of a more orangish.
Okay.
The hex nut, anyway.
It goes from electrum to bronze. Or copper?
Love that. I'd say more of a copper. Its body stays that same, like, liquid mercury color, which is cool. I wonder, actually. I should have thought about this earlier. I'm just checking to see if they have different Pokedex entries. Yeah, they do have different Pokedex entries, so let's go Pikachu and Eevee. I want to read them.
Okay, you can read all of them.
Okay. Why do you seem so uninterested?
Because I don't care about the Pokedex. Maybe they're good entries.
Wow.
Maybe they're good entries.
Guys,
maybe they're good entries.
break Jokum's knees in the comments.
Guys, Doc's Frank and then kill him. Wait, I'm kidding. Please don't. Oh my gosh.
Let's go Pikachu and Eevee. It melts particles of iron and other metals found in the subsoil so it can absorb them into its body of molten steel. See, I keep wanting to call it mercury, but it is just steel.
But like it's melty like mercury, so
yeah,
it's basically mercury. It's based off of it.
And for Melmetal, revered long ago for its capacity to create iron from nothing. Wow, wow, how useful.
Well, it probably made iron from the iron that was in the ground, not nothing.
Well, a long time ago they didn't know that.
Okay.
For some reason, it has come back to life after 3,000 years.
Merchandising.
All right, I just wanted to get those out of the way. Here's Melmetal Shiny, by the way. It's pretty much the same thing, same idea.
Does Gigantamax have a different?
It should have a different.
They don't show it, but I assume.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
It's just
the hex nut.
It's just the copper nut.
Copper nut.
I like Meltan's design, but it would be cute if it started out as copper and then its shiny was like rusted copper, which is like blue.
Oh, that'd be neat.
That would be. Yeah, but also it's fine.
I don't know. I mean, I like it, but I like your idea too. Speaking of ideas, Jokum, let's get those creative juices flowing with alternate forms. What are you thinking?
It's thermostat. It's ice type. Ice.
We always go ice.
No, it's ice type, but ice and metal. But it can also be fire and metal because it's a thermostat. Yeah. If it's hot, then it's like
maybe there's 2 different forms.
Yeah, or like it has a setup ability or something. Like maybe it's like a sunny day and a hail user, but like or I don't know. It does something. It does every 4 turns. It goes from sunny day to hail, and then from hail back to sunny day, and it can like. I'm trying to. Okay, I'm liking the gimmick I'm coming up with, but also I don't know what it would look like.
I mean, maybe its body really would be made of mercury, and it could just like rise and fall a little bit.
Maybe maybe the hot form is like really tall, and then the cold form is just a little guy.
Maybe the hot form is like its metal is like constantly moving like ocean waves and everything, and in the cold form it's extremely stiff and its metal is like frozen solid.
And maybe it's I could see it being like, oh man, I want to say it's like just like a thin little guy when it's like cold and it's like speed goes up, but then because it'd be more brittle and fragile, so then its defense goes down. but then in heat it becomes more liquidy, and then like, oh, you can hit it, but it just warps into it anyways.
I like where you're going with it. I feel like when it's in cold form, maybe you're right, it doesn't... Maybe its defenses and speed are lower, but maybe its special attack is like really high because it just sits there and like is conserving energy to launch out. And then when it's in like the fire form, it's a lot faster, but it doesn't do as much damage because it is so liquidy and it's harder to get a solid punch or something like that.
Yeah. And then...
But then you're talking about molten metal. If that, I don't know. We don't have to...
that, yeah.
I like the idea. That's fun. My idea is that instead of a hex nut, it's an octanut.
Is that... really?
No.
Oh. I didn't know whether I should be mean to that idea.
I was just sitting on that for a little bit.
Or it's a screw.
Yeah, there you go. And its signature move can be screw you.
Yeah.
And it just...
Or it's like a predator of Meltan.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, the screw form goes after the hex nut form to constantly combine them, and then a new evolution is created if you can combine them together.
If it has like 10 Meltan screws, that's really sad. But like 10 Meltan nuts, like its regular form, as the Meltan nuts get like, screwed back to like the base of the screw, they start getting dissolved and eaten.
Yeah.
And then, but like if it's managed to eat like 10, it evolves. But at this point, it's like a different Pokemon.
Yeah, no, it really is. It'd kind of be like the Blood Moon or Saluna in a way. It's just kind of like its own separate thing.
Yeah, I don't like Blood Moon or Saluna. It didn't need to exist.
I kind of agree, but I also just kind of like how it looks. I'm 50-50 on it. When it comes time to do that episode, I think we're gonna have to talk about Blood Moon or Saluna with the rest.
Other ones. Yeah,
okay. I think I feel... nope, that's it. That's all I can think of for alternate forms. Would you expect it to get a Mega in Legends ZA?
I hope not.
You hope not?
Yeah. I don't like this. I like this Pokemon. It's from Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So like, I want to see it come back. I want it to be people to be able to use it, but it's already really good.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a Mega.
Oh yeah, if it Mega, oh gosh, that'd be too much. I think about this Pokemon in the same way I think about Zeraora. Not that they're that similar, but Zeraora was just kind of introduced at the end of Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
And it's just some random mythical, I think.
Zeraora came at the end of Sword and Shield?
Oh, am I wrong about that? Did it come at the end of Sun and Moon?
It feels like a Sun and Moon ending kind of Pokemon. I feel like Sword and Shield had the stupid monkey, and that was it.
You're probably right. I can never remember.
Hold on. One of your posters.
Oh, you're so right.
Oh no, it doesn't have Zeraora.
Oh, I feel like that was a different poster that we were looking at.
We were looking at a poster that had like mythicals that represented the region, and they used like Zeraora for one of them, right?
Yeah, it must have been Sun and Moon because in the National Pokedex, Zeraora comes right after Blacephalon, the Ultra Beast, and right before Meltan. So that means Meltan and Melmetal were introduced before the Gen 8 starters. Well, at least they're in the Pokedex.
Yeah, they were probably in Pokemon Go as like a promotional thing, and then they got...
Between generations or something,
That's probably why I associate it with Gen 7 more than Gen 8.
Yeah, but you can't even put them in Gen 7, so...
It's probably because they were released before Gen 8, so I was like, oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
Frank, is this that part of the show where you're absolutely burgeoning with trivia that you want to read off, no matter how boring it is?
Well, Jokum, now that you mention it, I am really ready for some trivia.
Okay.
And I know you are too. You should sing your I'm excited for trivia song.
Hey, boys and girls of the world, it's time to listen to Frankie Hurl. He's gonna say some stupid crap, and I'm gonna say, how about that? Crap and that don't rhyme that much. Don't touch.
Hey, Jokum, guess what? There's so much trivia for Meltan.
Please, for the love of God, make it fast.
Meltan has several unique attributes.
Yes. I swear to God, I'm this close to touch.
It is the only Pokemon capable of evolution that cannot be evolved in the core series games.
Oh, yeah.
Because of this, it is not affected by Eviolite. I did not know that.
Whoa! Oh, that is actually mildly interesting.
That is mildly
that
interesting.
is r/mildly interesting. You deserve some credit. No, Reddit karma.
Some credit karma. This video is sponsored by Credit Karma.
Please.
It is the only Pokemon with the ability Magnet Pull that cannot also have Sturdy. Every other Pokemon with Magnet Pull will also have Sturdy as another ability option.
Okay.
Holy crap.
All right.
Except for Miltank.
Wow.
That is interesting.
Okay.
And Miltank and Melmetal are considered mythical Pokemon.
Really?
It is the only mythical Pokemon that is capable of evolution.
Fione can't evolve?
I don't...
It just sort of exists as a baby?
Fione can evolve in a Manaphy.
Maybe it can't.
Or maybe it can't.
It can only be born. It can only be begotten, but it cannot beget.
You're probably right. It probably can't evolve.
Wow. That makes Fione even worse.
Yeah. Meltan in its evolved form shares several unique attributes. They are the only... Okay, we know this already. They're the only Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee not to be introduced in Gen 1.
Uh-huh.
They are the only Pokemon in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee whose Kanto Pokedex number, 152, is not the same as its national Pokedex number, 808, which makes sense.
What? Yeah.
Every other Gen 1 Pokemon is going to have their same national Pokedex number.
I guess they couldn't have just given it 808 in the dex.
Yeah. While Kanto Pokedex numbers are normally used throughout the game, the judge screen displays national Pokedex numbers, which is evident for Meltan and Melmetal. The judge screen? The stats judge is a character in the games that is able to read the individual values, the IVs, of a selected Pokemon and determine the range of blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. They are the only Pokemon officially introduced in Generation 7 that are not in the Alola Pokedex.
Ah.
So there it is. They are officially introduced during Gen 7, before Gen 8. So they were. I don't know why it says introduced in Gen 7. They're probably introduced between generations.
Yeah, but
I guess
maybe Gen 8 doesn't exist until the first generation game comes out with a new Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess until release day, we existed in the time of Gen 7. I guess that makes sense. They are the only Pokemon in the National Pokedex of Pokemon Go and Pokemon Home to not be listed in a region section. Instead, they are put into Unknown and Unknown Origins, respectively.
They're the only Pokemon there?
Yeah. Wow. And I meant to mention this earlier, but on Cerebi, when it comes to, like, what region they come from, it lists them in Galar, but it says foreign. Which is interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. The more you know. Yeah, it says national... national is 809 for Melmetal. Galar, foreign, nothing else. How about that?
Why don't they do that with Caparaja?
Because that's just in-game lore.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's still a part of the Galar Pokedex. Okay. They are the only mythical Pokemon that can be traded or placed in a gym as a defender in Pokemon Go. Okay. I bet all the Pokemon Go heads loved hearing that. Meltan has so much more to go. I'm just kidding. It's not that much. Oh, God. Meltan is the smallest mythical Pokemon.
Oh, it is a little guy, isn't it?
It is. He is just a little
very
guy.
Small.
Meltan is the first mythical Pokemon caught by a main character in the animated series.
Oh.
I think Ash used him in the...
Oh, he had a Melmetal?
In some league, yeah.
Okay, please tell me he evolved it.
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah. In the animated series, Professor Oak is the person who gives Meltan its species name. According to Junichi Masuda, Meltan and its evolution were created for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee out of a desire to build a bridge between players of the core Pokemon series and players of Pokemon Go to make both groups happy. I think both groups are mildly disappointed.
Yeah.
Especially us on the video game side. All right, let's just do a few more here. We're almost to the origins section for Meltan. Don't worry, Joko.
Oh, okay.
In a 2018 GameSpot interview, Junichi Masuda mentioned that Meltan was designed by someone who was also a fan of the original games and played them as a kid. 2 people were credited as Pokemon character designers in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Misaki Hashimoto and Hironobu Yoshida. However, Yoshida has worked on the Pokemon game since Pokemon Yellow, implying that it was Hashimoto that designed Meltan. Ooh. Thank you, Hashimoto.
Thank you, Hashimoto. You're my favorite.
Origin. Meltan is based on a hexagonal nut, and its tail resembles an exposed wire. Jokum exposes his wire all the time.
I forget that it has a tail. You pervert.
Its lower body...
Why do you keep looking at it?
Is
like
based...
my exposed wire.
Put it away. Put away your exposed wire
I know
now.
you want to actually get shocked by it. I hope you felt as good as I did just then.
Its lower body is based on gallium. A metallic element with a relatively low melting point of about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Gallium is used to make semiconductors and can easily attack other metals, such as aluminum and tin, to form alloys that are either very brittle or liquid at room temperature. These may be referenced with Meltan's liquid body, electric affinity, and ability to absorb metals. Cool. They should have just called it the Gallium Pokemon. Meltan may also be inspired by mercury, a metallic element that is liquid at room temperature. Much like gallium, mercury can also conduct electricity, as well as react with many other metals to form alloys known as amalgams. Meltan and Melmetal bear some resemblance to Wenlock, the official mascot of the 2012 Summer Olympics in London, whose design also has a single large eye on a metal body.
Okay, what the heck is that?
Yeah, it says, however, this similarity may be a coincidence. Wenlock, Wenloce.
Oh, L-O-C-E.
Oh, I don't know about that. You just think we love.
It corrected to we love.
Still gonna get it right.
Wait, how do you said C-E?
No, I said C-K.
Oh, I could have sworn you said C-E.
I hope not. That'd be embarrassing. It's just kind of like a metallic guy. There's no nuts.
Any London Olympics? The stupid idiot town called. They want their mayor back. That looks so bad.
Yeah, that's not very good.
That's... Oh... God, Europeans are terrible at making mascots.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
No, you're absolutely right.
Japanese have got it in the bag. America is like, they're fine.
America's doing okay, but yeah, Europe is not good at making mascots at all.
I'm gonna be sick. As someone who came from Norway, we're bad. We're just bad. That's not where we excel.
All right, name origin. Meltan may be a combination of melt, metal, and tan, diminutive Japanese suffix. It may also be derived from molten.
Meltan. But yeah, that's cute.
Meltan.
Konnichiwa.
All right, Jokum. All that, and we still got to talk about Melmetal.
God, I know why you send these challenges to me. Can you make them less challenging?
He sends his strongest trivia sections to his toughest soldiers.
Longest trivia sections.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
People at home who like this trivia, I'm sorry for being a grump.
He is kind of a grumpy grump.
I am a grump.
But he's our grumpy grump.
Aww.
Melmetal and its pre-evolved form, Meltan, have several unique attributes. Let's see. A lot of this is going to be the same, so we probably are going to skip a lot of it. Yep, that's the same. That's the same. Oh, it's your lucky day, Jokum. Melmetal is the only mythical Pokemon to have a Gigantamax form. Melmetal is also the only Pokemon introduced in Generation 7 to have a Gigantamax form. So, we've always said in the past, it's all Gen 1 and Gen 8 Pokemon, and then Garbodor, who have Gigantamax forms.
Yeah.
But, turns out...
He barely counts as a Gen 7, though, because you can't even...
You can't even get him in the game.
Well, you can get him in Pokemon Go.
You can't even get him in the Gen 7 game.
Yeah, I guess Pokemon Go is beyond generations.
Yeah, at this point. What? Moreover, Melmetal is the only Pokemon whose Gigantamax form cannot be attained through the Max Soup. Huh.
What does that mean?
Max Soup was a feature in Sword and Shield where if you found the 4 or 5 or however many of these Gigantamax ridden mushrooms, you could mix them together in a soup, give them to a Pokemon who could Gigantamax but does not currently have the capability, and then give them that capability. For example, I caught a Toxel in my normal playthrough of Sword and Shield. I wanted to use a Toxtricity on my team, but that Toxel could not Gigantamax. I would have had to catch a Toxel or a Toxtricity in a max den in order for it to Gigantamax. So the whole game, I couldn't Gigantamax it. Then post-game, I was able to give my Toxtricity the soup. Now it can Gigantamax. Yeah.
It's annoying. They should have just given you that.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh, I know. Gigantamax is not a very good gimmick.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, why not just give us that ability from the beginning? Why hide it? They can all still... I always forget it. What's the smaller version of Gigantamax called where they don't change forms? Dynamax. They could all just Dynamax, but it's not as cool. Yeah. They don't change form. Although Melmetal's shiny form is legitimately available, its shiny Gigantamax form is not. As Gigantamax Melmetal distributed in Pokemon Home is not shiny. Melmetal is the only Pokemon with this attribute. So you
wait, Gigantamax Melmetal is only distributed what now?
So I think only one Melmetal was ever given as a mystery gift or whatever, however that worked, with the ability to Gigantamax, you can't give it the Max Soup. That's what that thing was saying. Melmetal is the only Pokemon whose Gigantamax form cannot be obtained through the Max Soup. So you can technically, and since you can't shiny hunt that event, you can never have a shiny Gigantamax Melmetal.
Okay, that's a stupid Pokemon moment. That's a certified Pokemon moment.
Yeah,
in a bad way.
Very pointless Pokemon moment. Melmetal is the only Pokemon obtainable in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that cannot have the Let's Go origin mark. I guess that makes sense because you can't catch it in game.
Yeah.
Melmetal is the heaviest mythical Pokemon. Oh, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Melmetal is coded to learn the move Thunder Punch upon evolving. However, this is impossible due to Meltan being unable to evolve in the core series games. In Generation 7, I guess that's 7, the levels at which Meltan and Melmetal can learn moves, aside from 1, are all divisible by 9. In Generation 8, they are divisible by 8 instead.
Wait. In which generation? They're divisible by 9?
In Generation 7.
So it's available in Generation 7?
VII is 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... I don't think so, because you can't find... You go to Cerebi, there's no section
Does
for Gen
Pokemon Go
7.
have moves?
Yeah. Wait. Wait. I don't know. I've never played.
So maybe Pokemon Go has moves, and that's where it was divisible by 9.
Oh wait, they might just be considering Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee as Gen 7 games.
Oh,
yeah,
because they came out before.
Yeah,
you're not stupid. We're stupid.
I'll take it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, for some reason I also lump Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee in Gen 8. I don't know why. I shouldn't, but I do. Origin. Melmetal has similar designs, aesthetics to its pre-evolution Meltan.
Really?
Its head and features resemble hexagonal nuts, and its tail resembles an exposed wire.
It still has a tail?
I guess so, yeah.
All I ever see is its big, beautiful thighs.
It mentions the gallium and mercury thing again, the alloys, the amalgams. Melmetal in its Gigantamax form may have been based on the Cyclops. Additionally, its Gigantamax form could be based on Balor, described as a giant being with one eye that can destroy everything when opened. Maybe, I know the beam it mentioned comes out of its stomach, but maybe that's kind of where it's going with that.
It might also just be a big monster.
Balor is Irish mythology, by the way, which... not that it was introduced in, freaking Sword and Shield, but that is like the UK region. So
I do also think I can see there being some inspiration from the stupid London mascot, and maybe they knew they were having an England-based game coming up.
Point. Yeah. Whoa, that's Balor?
I don't think this is Balor.
He's got one eye and he's shooting a beam from it.
But he does. But this Pokemon doesn't even shoot it from its.
I know, but it. That still could be. I mean, you looked at Balor, and that's what came up. I'm pretty sure that's Balor.
Oh, is that where the Balrog of...
Oh.
The Balrog of Morgoth.
That says Balor D&D.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a Balor in D&D.
Huh.
He's right there. But then he's the Balrog.
He's right here.
The Balrog of Morgoth. I love the Balrog of Morgoth.
Yeah. Name origin. Melmetal may be a combination of melt and metal.
Huh.
Whew, that was a lot of trivia, Jokum. I am riding on a high right now.
Ooh.
Time to look up some merch. Now, I know these guys aren't going to have sitting cuties, but I guarantee you they have plushes. They do. Oh my gosh. So their cards were available in like a lot of these Pokemon Go TCG sets. And they do have plushes.
Oh, yeah.
They're both sold out on Pokemon Center's official website. And that's it. That's all I have.
I feel like they're big promotional Pokemon, right?
Oh yeah,
that was
big time.
They pretty much exist to get people to download Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
I think they really is really the only reason they exist. Ew.
You don't like his tail?
I don't like his tail at all. That brings him down from
his arms move.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That brings him down from like pretty cool to
why?
Cool,
really?
Cool, but has a weird tail. He goes into the tier that is cool but has a weird tail.
I don't mind the tail at all. I think it's a little pointless, but I don't care. He's still a pretty cool guy in my opinion. Anyway, that's all the merch they seem to have. Jokum, what are you doing?
Well, hold on. Where do you rate him on the?
Oh, on the merch.
On like the representation.
I mean, he was in a lot of TCG sets, but besides that, he just gets one line of plushes, and then that's it.
He's forced into a B, I would say.
A B?
Yeah, because he's a big promotional Pokemon for Pokemon Go. Right now,
yeah.
Maybe back in the day.
No, I see what you're saying, but I still don't consider that as like merch. We're mainly talking about their merch.
I guess
I would have put him in D.
I consider this like popularity in general. Kind of that's what I considered it. I mean, I don't see a lot of fan art on. I don't see like any fan art.
Yeah.
Well, I see like a 2D sprite, which is very cool actually.
I think D seems appropriate.
Not even C? I mean nowadays D. But back in the day?
I can give you back in the day. But yeah, I mean nowadays it's
I don't think he's not a big fan art Pokemon.
So
which is actually kind of surprising. That's all I see. I don't know. All right, now is the part of the show where I type in the final evolution's name and they scroll in Google Images until something not safe for work pops up. Safe for our work, but not safe for your work.
Oh boy, my favorite.
But worry not, you won't have to click away because this is not a visual medium yet.
Yeah, as of now, maybe eventually, but not yet. TBD. It is cool. I notice here there is a TCG.
I was also looking at that.
A tag team Lucario and Melmetal GX card. That was around the time I drifted away from the TCG for a bit, and I just remember looking at that and thinking, good lord, Pokemon cards have gotten so incredibly overpowered. And even still, those tag team cards, yeah, they're insanely overpowered, but they still don't even compare to a lot of the cards of today. I don't know. It's insane. It's just insane to me. So there are a lot of Pokemon that don't lend themselves well to being in the hands of furry artists, let's just say. I feel like there's nothing to do with Melmetal.
He is goopy. He's like, I would say he lends himself to tentacle stuff.
Oh, you didn't have to say that though.
But I chose to, and I think that's beautiful, isn't it?
It's not. I don't know. I guess
you approved this segment, Frank.
I don't know if approved is the right word. We both have equal say in this podcast.
You let it happen.
Whoa, is there a Melmetal TCG box set?
I mean, why not?
Whoa.
They were pushing him. They were pushing him back in the day.
Dang it! I really did drop off and stop collecting cards as much.
You dropped off,
in
Frank.
the Sun and Moon era. I still collected here and there, but
the Frank drop-off situation is crazy. Also, guys, where's the libido?
We're at the end already.
I reached the bottom.
That was really
there's
fast.
No bottom. if you know what I mean.
Like, we didn't even get, like, a sexy or furry adjacent
Guys, don't
image.
make me type in.
Why are you typing that in?
I won't type that in afterwards, but don't make me type in something afterwards just to see if it even exists.
Jokum
Guys,
wants to type in...
Get busy. Melmetal Rule 34.
Oh, I was just going to say R34.
R34. Well, it's not a Freon.
I know. Anyway, I win, so
well,
let's...
I win because this next segment is here.
Whoa!
This is the part of the show where the boys discuss how edible the pocket monsters that we focused on won't belong. Turn up and come along to the segment of the show.
Yes, indeed, it is that time of the show where we kiss it a metal, where we
Eat?
fricassee. I'm trying to think of things that rhyme with kiss. Eat the metal or kill the metal, and kill the metal. I mean, kiss.
Wed?
Wed. I forgot it's not kiss.
It is human adjacent. It doesn't have lips.
It has hips though.
It's cold.
Oh, it's cold.
Liquid metal
Liquid
body
metal
doesn't
body.
really lend itself to cuddling.
Could lend itself to.
I can't
Other
imagine
things.
just... And again, guys, we're thinking of this as if this is your spouse. You are married
It can't just
to
be a
this
pet.
Pokemon. This is not a pet.
It's not weird, okay?
So when I say, yes, I'm going to need to be able to live in a house with this thing,
It's huge.
cook with it, sit on the sofa, watch romantic
It's gonna
comedies
destroy
with
a
it.
sofa.
I mean, this isn't feasible. Yes, it's technically human shaped. It does not have hands to hold. It does not have lips to
nope.
kiss. I'm going to say it. This is a 2.
I was gonna go 1.5. You pervert.
I mean, it does have the hips.
And it has a hole. Right?
And any hole is a goal.
Yeah. No, it's just.
I'm still giving it a 2.
It only. Literally, you could morph this thing into the shape of a car and it would function the same.
Yeah.
It's.
Dang, maybe you're right. I just don't want to give it something lower than like a dog
It's not
or a
disgusting.
cat.
It's. Oh, yeah.
That's
We're
my
gonna have to
issue.
rate dogs and cats on this thing. It's a 2.
It's a 2. Okay, thank you. It's a 2.
It's a 2.
Gajinka. She collects.
No, she stopped.
Swords.
We can't. We have to stop making these women who collect things.
No, I think she's a handy woman for sure.
Maybe she's a welder.
Maybe. I'm thinking
She
more
likes
along the lines
metal
of
melting
like.
into each other. She collects
Yeah,
metal.
she does melt metal. Yeah, maybe she does that thing where she melts metal down anthills and stuff.
Yeah.
And she makes like, she does. She might be a welder, and she does that cool thing where they make art pieces out of tacking together, but nuts and bolts and screws.
Ah, that's kind of cool.
That's really endearing. That's cute.
Was there any trivia or anything that said anything about its personality?
Not really. Just that it's
She's
kind of
close
old.
with her family.
Yeah, close
She has
with
an
her
old
family.
soul.
Yes, old soul.
I don't know what that always means though. What it like?
She likes. I think she just likes metal. I think she likes that like. What's that aesthetic called? Where there's a lot of like metal and wood in the house.
Cottagecore.
Is that cottage?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Steampunk?
I don't even know. It's not steampunk. I don't know what core I'm trying to think of, but
Just think of metal and wood. I think steampunk.
yeah. I don't know if I think steampunk when I hear wood, but I feel like it's just gears.
Leather and metal.
Yeah, there it is.
Leather.
Metal. I think this is a successful marriage. I think she's passionate about tools and fixing things. I think she's half welder, like half mechanic. She's good at fixing. She's good at building. She's good with handling the lug nuts.
Dang. Wow, she knows her way around. Yeah, I was basically going to say the same thing. She knows her way around a nut.
Yeah.
She's a good screw.
My man. Yeah. All right.
But Gajinka, I think. Oh, also, what does she wear? Does she wear like? It's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at Melmetal, maybe she wears something with puffy shoulders.
That's just what is that? That's
Yeah,
nothing.
I don't know.
Yeah, she wears a t-shirt, a big oversized graphic tee
With a Melmetal on it.
sure, with a big nut on it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, successful marriage. Edible.
No.
Nothing. There's nothing here.
Can it be lower than Metagross?
Yeah, at least Metagross might have organic eyes. But even that remains to be seen.
Yeah, I
don't think it does actually. But
it's like what, a 0, a 1?
it's a 0. You can't eat it.
Yeah,
like you could just drink the liquid metal
and die
and die immediately. But like, yeah, this is a 0.
Inedible 0.
Is this the first Pokemon? Because I think you were even trying to give Metagross like a 1 or a 2.
I think because I thought maybe I can't remember what Metagross' score was.
Maybe a tongue.
But there was something I thought I could have sworn it had a tongue, or maybe its eye was maybe organic.
Yeah, there's just nothing to do with Melmetal though.
All right.
Unfortunately.
It's edible.
No. I don't think I could beat this thing.
No.
Its defense is too high.
If I hit it with a metal bat, it would probably absorb it.
Yeah. It would definitely absorb it. I think, actually, what it would do is it would let me hit it, like 10 times in a row, and it would just stand there, progressively just, like, looking down at me until it got bored, and then it would crush me with its 2 giant fists.
This is probably the most unbeatable thing. I don't know how I would kill this, even with prep time.
I don't know, Metagross is like a literal supercomputer that it has incredible high attack and defenses. I think they're about the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's impossible.
I think it's unbeatable. I think if you heat up this melted metal anymore, it would just get molten. I mean, it's not gonna...
You could probably get it to the point where it's, it can't keep its form anymore. Also, in the games, you can beat it. Like, you can... You could theoretically tackle it to the point where it faints.
You could beat it with Pokemon moves, but we're not using... This is the real world, Jokum.
But, like... If you tackled something with all your body, is that the same as a Pokemon using tackle?
I mean, it's a magical creature versus me. I feel like there's just an inherent difference.
People used to interbreed with Pokemon.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
It's got to be said that maybe there's some magic to humanity after all.
Yeah, 0. There's just a 0.
Dang.
Yeah. No prep time?
No, I can't keep... What am I going to prep?
No going to Harry's Flamethrowers R Us?
It's going to be it's going to hit me hotter. I'll heat it up so it hits me and hurts more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Well, everybody, I think that's just about the end of our episode. Jokum, have you come around on Melmetal? Do you like this boy?
He's fine. I realize he has a tail. Now, I don't know if that makes...
How could that possibly make you like him less?
It's gross.
How is it gross? You liked it on Meltan.
It looks like a guy, and then he turns and suddenly got a gross little tail. It's like, Frank, if all of a sudden you had a wire sticking out like of your let's say you get a pilonidal cyst. Ew. You turn around and it pops and a wire comes out and it's really long. You're like, oh, I guess I have a tail now. Hey Joe, am I cool? I'm like, no. Ugh.
Okay,
It's
very specific, but I guess I kind of get it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. For me, the tail doesn't detract from anything. I still like Melmetal. I've always liked Melmetal. One day, I hope to use him in a playthrough. Maybe I'll force myself to replay Let's Go Eevee for some godforsaken reason.
Force yourself?
Because I want to use a Melmetal.
Well, maybe it'll come back in Gen 10. Knock on wood. I hope everything comes back.
Me too.
Gen 10.
Gen 10 better be the region where they're, even if it has to be through more DLCs, it better be the region where they're like, okay, everyone is here, you know? But this has been your episode of Certified Poke Moments. If you like Pokemon, go to my YouTube channel. It's called Let's Be Frank. I talk about Pokemon on that channel all the time, but I talk about other things too. I like to cook on the channel. I like to do tier lists of all different kinds. And if you want more Joachim content,
that's me.
Him and I cook on the channel as well. We do a little series called Taboo Foods, where we cook really strange and odd things. Stuff that normal people wouldn't really want to eat.
Americans. I always have to stress this is just Americans.
Americans tend to be pickier than the average person.
I feel like every country is picky in kind of their own way, but they like to. But America's like an easy target. America's like really diverse. So,
it is. No, and that's a good thing. But I don't know.
The chicken tender American.
Yes, the average chicken tender American is gonna find a lot of the stuff we make on that channel gross, like butterscotch chicken. Hey, that's a cool Simpsons reference. And if you like The Simpsons, we also make the tobacco from The Simpsons.
Maybe it is weird.
Yeah, we're the problem, for sure. All right, guys. Thank you so very much for listening to this episode. This has been your Certified Poke Moment.
Oh no, the cat!